Hello, guys. This is Matthew from Boston with Wise Guy Bets. And I'm just going to tell you, this is my fifth time trying. It's like they don't want me to get these picks out there. But I'm just going to tell you right now, I've never felt like this before, but I am more confident in these picks than I've been in picks in years. And I think I was just cocky. I'm telling you, this is the first time. I'm too nervous to tell you guys to definitely take picks. I'm telling you, with these late games, as well as the night game tonight and the night game tomorrow night, I'm telling you guys, take these picks. Basically, every single pick I put as a pick of the day, not as a lock. Out of there's 10 picks here, all right, and I took every single game from the late afternoon and tonight and tomorrow night, and I bet them all both ways, meaning I bet the game as well as the over-under, which is basically the combination of the two scores. For instance, Miami won today 37-31. The over-under was 44.5 or 45.5, something like that. Well, 37 plus 31 is 68. That's very high. That went well over. Of course, I picked over, so if you took that game, you won, as you know. Anyways, we're going to start out with, I'm going to say, take the Monday Night Football, meaning tomorrow night's games, now, because I am pretty sure that they're going to move. Not only the Seattle, so basically it's Seattle minus 2.5, favored by 2.5. I think that's going to go up to 3 by game time tomorrow. So you want to take that now. Then there's Seattle under 50.5. Now, I'll explain the minus 115. Basically all these picks should say minus 110 next to it. That's called juice. You pay, that's like you pay 10% on the bet. If you normally on a bet, you risk $11 to win $10, or you risk $110 to win $100. You get it? 10%. But if it's more than 10%, I put it there. So that's what that is. So then there's there's only 1 star by this Seattle under 50.5. That should also be 2 stars. Like I said, these are all. I have 8 picks here that are picks of the day. I have no locks, but they're all even better than locks. They're picks of the day. I've never liked this many games in one period of time. All right, so then the next one, which is also tomorrow night, but again, this, and you can tell, it's not 110, it's at 115, which is another indicator that line is going to go down. And it's not going to just go down to 50. I think it's going to go down as low as 49. So I would take both of these tonight. Even though the game's tomorrow night, I would bet them tonight. And by the way, if you're looking where to bet at Bovada. That is Bovada, Bravo, Oscar, Victor, Alpha, Delta, Alpha. Or bet now. Bravo, Echo, Tango, November, Oscar, Whiskey. Bet now. So either one or the other. And you can donate with a debit card or Bitcoin. And you can withdraw in both of those manners as well. It's really easy and really simple. All right, let's continue because I keep running out of time. I want to run out of time. All right, so now for today's picks. We have the Chargers minus 3.5. Take that. We have the Chargers playing Denver, and we have under 38. Take that. We have Kansas City minus 10. I know that's a lot of points, but Kansas City is a really good team that scores a lot of points, and they're playing against a team who's been playing probably the worst football in the league lately, and that's Oakland. So I would say Kansas favored by 10. And then I'm trying to do these in order of when they're going to be on. So I'm going to skip New England. I'm going to go to LA Rams minus 2.5. Which I love the 2.5s, you know what I mean? Because that means a field goal, you win. If they win by a field goal, you win. With the Chargers, you win by a field goal, you lose. But I think that Vegas kind of does that to deceive you sometimes because I'm telling you, Denver is on their 5th-string quarterback. This guy didn't even know he was playing until a few hours ago. So I really like the Chargers in that game. All right, so back. The LA Rams, they were in the Super Bowl last year. Some people say they're not as good as last year. I think they just haven't hit their stride yet. I do agree they're not as good as last year. I mean, that's a high bar. But, I like them at minus 2.5. And again, these are all picks of the day. Then you go one above that, and we have New England minus 3. And it's at minus 120. So out of all these picks, the first ones I would take is the New England, the Seattle, and the Seattle under. The reason I say that is those are the lines I'm worried about changing really quick. And Kansas City. And you know what? For that matter, the Chargers. So those 5 are the first 5 I would take before they have a chance to change the line. If too many people are betting one way, the line's going to change. You can see at New England, this is as high as they'll go. It has 20% juice. So, if you're betting $100, you're risking $120. You're betting if you're trying to win $10, you're risking $12. You guys get it. It's 20% that way, which is they don't go any higher than that. Here and once in a great while, if they're just stubborn and don't want to change the line, and they really just think that the public is wrong. I've seen them go to 125, but that's very rare. Usually after 120, the next thing to move is the line. It'll go up to 3.5. So that's what I'm worried about. But as of now, I just checked. It's still at 3. So I'm telling you guys, take every single one of these games. I have never been so confident. I have never made all picks of the day. And then we have also New England. And by the way, New England, and I also like not only the game, but the under 46.5. They're playing Houston, high-scoring team, but the Patriots have the best, and I'm not just betting with my heart. You know what I mean? I bet with my head. When the Patriots had their only loss, guess what? I bet against them. Now, I didn't think they'd lose the game. I thought they'd win by a field goal, but they were playing a really good team called Baltimore, and Baltimore ended up, they were underdogs by 5.5 points, and they ended up winning the game. So even though I thought the Patriots would win the game, I still won the bet. You get it? Because it's plus 5.5, yet they won. So that's a win. All right, so and then like I said, I like the under 46.5. By the way, just so you know who they're playing, usually on the over-unders I put who they're playing. New England's playing Houston, so that means they're playing in a dome. So, a lot of people are thinking high scoring. Not me. Not with this defense. And the way Houston's been looking lately, and you know what? Bill Belichick does very well against mobile quarterbacks and young quarterbacks. So I think that this under, it's way higher than it should be. It's a sneaky good pick. A lot of people are thinking over, but I'm telling you, I think it's going to go under. And then my last 2 picks, these ones I don't have as the pick of the days, but they are still picks I like, or else I wouldn't put them. LA Rams over 47.5 and Kansas City over 49.5. Now, let's say this is too many games to bet. Let's say you can only bet. There's 10 games here, by the way. Well, 5 games, but there's 10 bets. Because I took every single game, and I gave you what I like for the game, as far as who wins and by the line, and who wins and what the over-under is. If you don't know what the over-under is, for instance, earlier, Miami won in a game 37-31. You add those scores together, you get 68. The over-under for that game was either 44.5 or 45.5. I forget. But either way, it went well over. And, of course, that was one of the picks I gave you. In fact, I like that pick a lot. And I told you guys, bet over on that game. And a lot of people liked Philadelphia. I didn't like Philadelphia. I didn't really exactly like Miami either, but I stayed away from Philadelphia in that game. Rightfully so, Miami actually beat Philadelphia despite being 10-point underdogs. Now, I don't think that'll be the case with Kansas City. I think Kansas City is legit 10-point underdogs. So anyways, guys, I would really get these picks in right away. But like I said, if you can't bet them all, let's say you can only afford to do 8 picks. Because I can't narrow it down past 8. I'd be lying. You know, I would just maybe drop the last two and go with all the picks of the day. And now one of them, the Seattle under 50.5, it only has 1 star. That's by accident. That's a typo. So I'm going to fix that real quick. I just want you guys to get these picks in, seriously. And hopefully you guys do very well. Again, the two best places to bet online are Bovada and Bet Now. Again, you can deposit the money with a debit card or a credit card. You know, preferably a debit card. That's quicker for the withdrawal. Like when you win, when you withdraw the money, it's quicker that way. And the quickest way is Bitcoin, just so you know. So if you know how to do Bitcoin, that's the quickest way. And the best way to do Bitcoin, by the way, is an app called Coinbase. And just answer the questions, tell the truth, and it's pretty straightforward from there. You can just add money. It goes in instantly into your Coinbase, but you have to put it onto the abbreviation BTC, Bravo Tango Charlie. That stands for Bitcoin. And then you go to deposit on either or Bovada or Bet Now, and you just follow the steps, and it's pretty straightforward. And then it'll say put your Bitcoin address. And but anyway, how about this? If you have any questions, email me. All right? But I feel very good about these picks. You know, at the top here, I wrote picks of the day, 3 units. Locks, 2 units, although there's no locks. And there's also no underdog of the day because I didn't take any of the other underdog. I didn't like any underdogs. Well, for the late games. Just regular picks, 1 unit. Late Sunday games, and then like I said, you know, from the I put 4:10, 4:30, and then 8:20, and then also tomorrow night's 8:20 game as well. And then it says and Monday night game, take before line goes up. We already talked about that. And this is the first time I've ever written this in like one of my predictions for picks, but I put in brackets, love my picks with 2 exclamation points. I've never been like that. I don't like taking a chance, and then if someone loses money, I feel like I really feel bad. But I am so confident in these picks. I really am. I mean, I bet as much as I could. But I can only touch my own money. I can't risk any money that's been donated. Although, really, I mean, it's still just the Kelly Keeble money because I can't get to the what's it called, the super chat money for another month. The super chat money can take up to 2 months. Usually it takes like a month and a half to get. It's still great. I mean, eventually I'm gonna get it and use it for the channel. It's just, you know, it's not instant. The best way is PayPal. And by the way, I have a PayPal for Wise Guy as well. So if you take all these games, and like I said, if you can't take all 10, at least if you take the 8 with the 2 stars, meaning picks of the day, if you take those 8, I mean, I would take all 10, but at least take all 8 of the picks of the day, and I really feel good about them. And you know, I mean, if you win a substantial amount of money if they go the way I think they will. And you know, I haven't had a losing week yet. And you know, by the way, a professional gambler, as far as NFL goes, anything over 60, 61% is considered professional. Over the past 2 seasons, not including this season, I've been documenting my picks and putting them on the spreadsheet. I'm at 61.7 in the NFL. I'm actually higher in NBA and NHL for some reason, but I just know the NFL more. I bet the NHL like here and there. Like for instance, so far this year in the NHL, I'm 2-0. And that was all from just the other night, the night from before Thanksgiving. So those numbers are a little deceiving, but the NFL ones aren't. And this season, I'm up around 74% for the year. Like I said,